Aloha for stock market today analysis for Aloha Tuesday, April 11th, 2023. I am still in the great state of Florida at the Orlando Hilton attending a conference, so I'm going to have to make this relatively quick. Going to try to make it a little faster than yesterday's, but at the same time, I just kind of snuck away and not really letting anybody know what I'm doing, so I got to be somewhat quick here. These videos are sponsored by I Have Success. Take a look at that website. Check it out. If you're interested in learning how to sell cash secured put options on stocks you would be happy to own, I'm going to leave a link at the 1 minute mark right here to why selling cash secured put options on stocks you would like to own gives you an unfair advantage. So at the 1 minute mark, it's going to be popping up right there. Get ready? Boom, there it is. I put it at the 1 minute mark so that way you can easily remember one. That's a pretty easy number to remember. Let's get into this. Tomorrow, we have some potentially market moving events going on with these different core price index reports coming out. Now, keep in mind, whether these numbers are accurate or inaccurate, the market's going to react to them. So as a market participant, maybe you look at this as not so much of, hey, this is what is legitimately truly going on, but maybe you can look at it as these numbers are being presented, the market's going to react to them. If you choose that you want to believe the numbers of known liars, that is totally up to you. I will never, ever think less of you for believing known liars. It's totally up to you if you want to believe known liars. That's your own decision. Speaking of known liars, FOMC meeting minutes coming out. You know, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Maybe they're not. You know, I really don't know because they don't let me in on these meetings. But anyways, we got these reports coming out tomorrow. We got more coming out Thursday, a lot coming out Friday. So we could have some volatile markets. We'll see. We're going to close down that ad, and we see that, again, I think this is the second day in a row where we definitely had more advancers than declining, and getting close to 50% hitting new highs and new lows. Incidentally, if this keeps kind of being close to 50-50, new highs and new lows, take a guess which way the market probably will even out. Sideways, huh? Probably, right? We don't know for sure, but don't be surprised if we continue to see more sideways momentum throughout the course of this year, or at least the course of this month. We got a little less than 60% under the 50-day moving average, and a little over 50% below the 200-day moving average. And we see on this heat map, we got a mixture, more green than red, but the big names, we got some big red movement, or a big red showing there. Anything of note on the insider trading? Not stocks that I normally follow. Over here, I'm not sure when this one slipped through. I guess it was the 4th. We had somebody, Jeffrey Williams, selling quite a bit of money in Apple, insider. And that's, again, why would they sell? Well, there's probably a lot of reasons, or at least a handful of reasons why they would sell, but there's really only one reason why they would buy. So you don't want to look at an insider selling as a definite negative on the stock price. Here's another insider. I guess maybe a relationship to that cult personality, and more selling out of that company. Let's get into what happened in the market today. Here's what I like to look at is just kind of generalized markets. We got the dollar continuing overall to move down, even though it's up a little up on the day, but dropped a little further down from yesterday. And if you're just kind of looking at the last month of trading, down with really on some low volumes. We'll see how that pans out. TLT showing you 20-year treasury bonds kind of moving sideways, right? It was in, I guess, ended the day right here, which is not too far away from right there. kind of looks like a bit of a sideways motion going on there. Gold really kind of plateauing out, but it's staying above that 2000 area. Oil still going sideways, but above 80, hanging out right there between 80 and 82 at the moment. Bitcoin popping up a little bit, battling that 30,000 area right there. We got our 4 indices of the market here. No volume because we're looking at the indices. And VIX is moving sideways down there, just kind of wavering between about 18 and some change to 20. S&P last couple days sideways, but up on the month. Dow Jones last couple days sideways, kind of hitting the top of the sideways range today, but still up on the month. Same thing with the NASDAQ, kind of going sideways at the low end of this bit of a trading range, but up on the month. And the Russell 2000 kind of just doing a sideways thing throughout the month. We see a slight curvature starting to point up in the 200-day moving averages out of these 3. That one's still going sideways. Let's quickly take a peek at the futures just so we can see some volume on these 4 different indices, which we got up here. Look at this. So really on the S&P 500, what happened to the volume there? I don't know, but I noticed a few different things I looked at that day across the board. Low volume. Maybe that was, I don't know, Thursday? Not sure, but low volume or high volume, it doesn't mean something can't move up or down on low volume, but it does show you sort of like less shares trading hands, and it possibly could indicate kind of a weakness in whatever direction that move is going. Take a quick look at the 12 different indices. Sideways over here, starting to move up over there. Overall, kind of looking sideways, battling to try to be up. Sideways, gosh, it's just overall down sideways. Okay, kind of going up overall. Oh, really going up over here. Yeah, we're trying to move up here, but yeah, I can't really fault it. Besides this little bump up today, really sideways. Same thing. It's a little bit up, but looks sideways. And up overall, up, and it's basically moving up, but not super fast. And up on the month and moving sideways, like on the last couple days of trading. 200-day moving average turning up, 200-day moving average starting to turn up, turning up, kind of sideways. Looks like maybe it might start turning up, not sure. Still going down over here, over here, sideways, maybe starting to turn up, sideways, and sideways. So we'll see. Really, really mixed type of market. Let's fly through the top holdings of the 4 indices. Got the S&P 500 right here, and here's in the last 6 months. This is a 6-month chart with each candle representing 1 day. We're at 418 and some change at the highest, and we're back to I can't remember where exactly it was doing this 400 dance at. Maybe it was through here. I can't quite remember, but if it's going to stay between 400 and 420, if it stays between those, it's about 410. So that's kind of where it's at right at the moment. Apple today dropped down, ended the day lower, and for the last, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading days, I get it, this trading day was up, but overall it's been a downward trend the last 5 trading days. So now we're at this 160 for support. So far it seems to be some relatively good support, but I don't know, we'll see how what's gonna happen. Apple is in a lot of different I think indices and ETFs and things like this, maybe mutual funds. So I think people a lot of times end up buying Apple indirectly. Microsoft pulling back on the day, but overall, it's kind of in this up motion. I'm interested to see if things are going to be kind of going sideways. Amazon kind of looking like it has been looking. Meta, overall, you see a decent uptrend going on right there. Google, of course, is in here twice, and it's going to be two more times in the queues for some reason, which we can speculate on. Unfortunately, Gary Gensler hasn't called me and let me know exactly why. I keep wondering on these videos, Gary, come on, give me a call. Let me know what the deal is. Over here on Berkshire Hathaway, at the top end of this range, we see we got this kind of range going on right there, going to the top of there. How about Tesla? Kind of looking like Amazon, Nvidia. Still, it pulled back on one day. It obviously dropped down here on a little bit of a gap, but it's moving back up there. Let's see if it can get past this 280. It's really got to get past that 280 to continue the bull trend. And the longer it takes to get past that 280, even if it stays in a sideways range, then we know that the strength of the bull is not that strong. We'll be able to tell the strength of the bull based on how quickly it does that. Over here in JP Morgan Chase, we're moving sideways in the bottom end of this range. Really, we had this range right here that where 130 was support. Now it seems to be 130 has become resistance. We'll flip over to the NASDAQ because it's basically a big overlap of stocks. Now, why would that be? I don't have an exact answer. I can only speculate, and I'll keep my speculation to myself, but I'll help you speculate. Why would it be? To what benefit would it have to have a lot of overlap in the top 10 stocks of these two different indices? And okay, so kind of looks like on the Qs, moving sideways a little bit. Now we looked at Apple, we looked at Microsoft, we looked at Amazon, we looked at Google, we looked at Meta, we looked at Tesla. We looked at Google, now it's being weighted a fourth time. We looked at Nvidia. These two we didn't look at. PayPal, just sideways below the 200-day moving average. It's not really looking super bearish or bullish, but overall, if it keeps, because it's under the 200-day moving average like that in relationship to everything I'm seeing here, this looks kind of bearish, but not super bearish. Adobe. It's up on the 6 months, but it's not looking nearly as strong as these other stocks. It looks like around this 380-ish area, 380 to 390 starts hitting some topping out on that top there. Oh boy, let's look at the Dow Jones. Check these diamonds out. Sideways, right? Overall. It's right here. It's kind of just getting close to the top end of that sideways range. United Health Group, okay, it has definitely made a nice strong run up. It got a little debatable with this candle, but this one stepped up the very next day with a wider range than the previous day to break through that 200-day moving average. We see a gap up right here. It's definitely going to hit a little bit or a lot of resistance here at this. What is that, 520? So let's see how it works with that 520. We just sort of have kind of average volume. So it could, we'll see what happens. Goldman Sachs is, okay, we got to see it really get past this 330. That 330 looks like it's giving it a little bit of resistance. Do we see 330 in the past? Not really. Maybe if we went out more than 6 months, we see that. Home Depot fell below that 200-day moving average. It was moving down for a while and took a pivot on this 280, but it also pivoted right here around the 300, at the 300 around the 200-day moving average. Then again, pivoting a little bit under that 290. Where did it pivot? Roughly got as low as 284. So let's see if it can get back up here and retest this 300. Microsoft, we already looked at. Salesforce pulling back a bit for the last X amount of trading days, about 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, somewhere in there. And let's see where it's going to pull back to. Right now, this candle, kind of doji-ish action, might be running out of steam, maybe a little bit of indecision. We'll see If it pulls back to 185 and kind of stays at that 185, then maybe we're looking at not so much of a bull trend anymore. McDonald's still been out of this range, and good thing I didn't do that iron condor, because I think my short calls was at 280 or 285. Would not have been fun to be trying to adjust that over here. But it's still moving up at the moment. Honeywell going to come up and test this 200-day moving average, but overall the stock has been trending down. Visa hitting this, what is that, about 230 resistance area. We'll see if it can get past that. Amgen made a good run back up, but testing this 200-day moving average, and at the moment not showing strength to stay above that 200. And Boeing doing the sideways shuffle there, although it is, like a lot of other stocks, at the top end of its sideways range. And let's finish this off with looking at IWM, ETF for the Russell 2000. Russell 2000 is kind of the lagger of our different indices stocks. We got 144. My apologies. 176. It's closing about at 177. We got to really see it break through this 177, break through this like 180-ish area to see something happen. AMC. It's kind of moving there sideways. Shockwave. Boom. Had a bump up. Biohaven is overall it's just kind of sideways, up, and then back down for sideways. Intelia it's been moving down in the last 6 months. It's kind of in this downward cycle. It bottomed out around here, had a pivot here, and then pivoted back to go retest that for the second time. Then went on its way up and hit around this $45 area twice, and it just basically kind of been going down after it came down here and retested this 35. And then here we are back here retesting the 35, but it took longer. It was a slower process to go down versus just a quick one. So let's see how that plays out. Crocs is same thing. It's basically been moving sideways, and it's at the top end of its sideways range right now. Chart Industries just looking bearish overall. It's like sideways bearish. Nothing bullish looking about that. Same thing over here. I don't see anything super bullish looking. It's been 3 days already since this big drop, and now it's still has not broke out of that past that day's trading range. And we had a gap up here, and the stock started running on Apellius, and real gappy stock. See how that's going to shake out, and let's conclude it with a reminder that selling cash secured put options on stocks that you're comfortable owning is a really great strategy to do when you're busy. Even if you have a limited amount of money, you can still find it as long as you understand how to do due diligence on stocks. Check out the free stuff; it'll help you figure that out. Check out the paid stuff. That'll really help you figure that out. And with that, you guys have a fantastic day. Aloha.